Okay, so welcome everyone. We usually begin with about 10 minutes of question and answer, but one of you emailed a very good question, which I'm going to paraphrase and turn into an example in order to answer. So the question was along the lines that I often talk about how souls will, in the pre-birth planning, we will hire other souls to play certain roles for us, including roles that might be aggressive or cause suffering. So the question was along the lines, well, if that soul that we hired to do a certain thing in our lives when we were together here as humans is evolving and evolves past where they would want to cause any suffering, can those contracts just dissolve or be rewritten? And that's exactly what happens. So overall, our progression as infinite divine beings or souls on this journey through lives is always to awaken to more love, always to evolve beyond our fears. So what I often call the pre-birth planning, but it really is life planning, because it's not just before you come into this life. It's that meeting's going on all the way through your life. It's going on right now, and it's constantly being updated. So as the example, let's say so we often move through our lives together as soul families. In other words, there are certain souls that we reincarnate with multiple times, playing different roles. So these are often beings that we're already very familiar with. So let's say I ask one of these beings to be my father and to rape me at the age of 14, because that will give me a certain set of experiences and a challenge that I believe would be good for my overall growth. And out of love, this soul agrees and says, okay, I'll play that role. And he would agree because it also fits his life planning, that perhaps he wants to have an experience of causing his family to fall apart and requiring him to go to jail, because that would somehow help balance out past karmas for him, and et cetera, et cetera. But let's say that in the midst of, before the 14 years when that was planned to have happen, one or both of us went through enough changes or learned the lessons that would have helped us learn, that it's no longer needed. So let's say I went through a certain number of experiences as a boy, and I got to a point where I no longer needed to have this experience of being raped by my father, and then all the ensuing consequences of that. So yes, in that moment, there would be a renegotiation in the life planning meeting where that contract would dissolve. And let's say the one playing the father character hadn't learned what they wanted to learn. And so they would find someone else to fulfill that contract. So maybe it would be like one of my childhood friends that my father would rape instead, because it meets what they need to learn in their life. So it's just constantly being rewritten, shifted. We are constantly changing timelines. There are so many ways and so many reasons. It's like we've each died many times already in this life. And we have no memory of it because in the near-death experience that we had, we were given the choice to stay dead and let go of this life and set up a new life to live through whatever challenges we might still have to live through. Or we could choose to come back. And we can choose whether or not to even remember being given that choice and having something that was essentially a near-death experience where you had basically died. I mean, this happens all the time, like in our sleep, or there can be all kinds of things that produce that kind of moment where you're given a chance to continue on or not. And in this particular lifetime. And we don't remember most of those. So there's just all these constant opportunities to change our timeline, to shift into what's now the most appropriate configuration for us, our challenges, for who we're interacting with, et cetera, et cetera. I saw at least one chat message. Why do we have to have the low vibration experiences before to learn or generational trauma? Well, yeah, I'm looking for the short answer for that. That could go on for an hour to answer that in full. But so, like, why do we have to have low vibrational experiences at all? Like, the simple answer is, why does somebody go on a roller coaster? Why do they put themselves in a position of wanting to have the life scared out of them? Because it's fun. So what you as an ego or a personality call a low vibrational experience, you as infinite divine being, it's just another blissful experience. It's another way to play. It's another way to pretend I am not an infinite divine being so that I can have the experiences of limitation because it's fun. Another way to consider this is like you look at any sport, like tennis, okay? Tennis has certain rules. Part of those rules are like what's in bounds and what's out of bounds. So you're not playing tennis on a football field, you're playing it on a tennis court that has a certain size. And then the net is a certain height. Well, why is there a net at all? Wouldn't it be easier to play tennis with no net? Well, no. The fact that there's a net is another limitation. It's the boundaries are a limitation on how much space. The net creates a limitation on which balls are allowed to go over the net. And all of that creates an experience that overall, to the one playing tennis, finds enjoyable. We like the rules. We like the limitations because it allows us to have a very defined game to play. And that's what life is. What we call low vibrational experiences are just the rules, the limits, the boundaries we set up for ourselves so we can come here and ultimately have fun. Now, does it feel like fun to the personality along the way? Often, most of the time, absolutely not. But that's why what we're really about here is waking up beyond the human. We want to include the human because we want to play the game now consciously. In fact, we want to get to where we can play the game in God mode, where we can, in the moment, change the rules. Yeah, so that's a little bit of an answer for both of those questions. Yes, we are very creative beings. Everything we're experiencing is our own creation, in fact. Okay, so That's taken us to 15 minutes after the hour. Those are great questions, though. So let's move into the transmission. They did not give me any hints on today's transmission. So that's a limitation. They often, like sometimes my guides will give me glimpses or will give me the theme beforehand. Sometimes they even take me through it, like as a guinea pig beforehand. And other times they say, but we also know you love the adventure of being clueless because it's part of the game. So, yes, let's play this game and as much as we can enter God mode. So welcome, I am Mark, and this is By Divine Design. Let's begin. As always, this is a transmission of divine love consciousness for your highest good and the highest good of all. And I am here to track what I observe the transmission doing, and then I do the best I can to put that into words to help you track it as well. You are invited to simply relax, to welcome as best you can whatever is arising within you, to notice what you notice. The transmission's coming in very gently today, all around you. Reminds me a little of walking towards the beach in San Francisco as the fog comes in and slowly being enveloped in the fog. But this is a fog of divine love, enveloping each and every one of us. At first, it always is very gentle in its contacting your energy system. Gives you an opportunity to feel into it for yourself, to feel into whether this feels like it's your highest good. It's something you wish to receive more of. And as you open, it enters more as it is doing now, enters into your energy system, which includes you from the densest levels of your being, including your physical body, your most unconscious aspects of the mind, but also goes all the way up to the most subtle levels of your being, the most divine aspects of yourself. Yeah, so this love is embracing you more. And as you open to it more, it is able to settle your heart. It's bringing a calmness into your heart, clearing away surface noise, unfinished emotions, and random thoughts, helping your mind to quiet in this moment and gain more quiet overall permanently. The focus remains at your heart chakra as loving bliss of being begins to activate within your heart chakra. It also rises from the heart like a fountain. It spreads out in each direction. First, all through you, all through your energy system. It's like this loving bliss of being is overflowing to you, overflowing your heart to the rest of your system. Brings more comfort, feeling of safety, helping you to settle more. You might notice your physical body is more and more relaxed. Very nice. This is now allowing being at home, the feeling of being at home within your body, within your being, within the present space you are occupying. Being at home. Amplifying now this being at home, amplifying and expanding it all throughout your system, your whole system being able to experience more and more this sense of being at home. Just right here, right now, within you, within yourself. This is also allowing the foundation of your being to expand, which includes your first three chakras and your connection to the earth. Helping you to have a even larger, more secure foundation for your life and living. Yeah, you're being invited that if you have any fears regarding the foundations of your life, so fears regarding like house and home, paying your rent or mortgage, basic relationships, flow of finances. Yeah, just imagine there's a sacred fire burning in your first three chakras, and you can just toss any and all fears into that fire and experience them being burned up as your own divine being is handling them. Yeah, would you be willing to sacrifice any and all fears regarding the foundations of your life and living? Would you be willing to surrender those to your own higher self, your higher being that knows exactly what's best for you, how to take care of you? But who can only reveal that to you as you surrender your fears. As long as you hold on to fears, you attract fearful happenings. And as soon as you surrender those fears, you allow the life-giving happenings to come to you. Okay, and then there's a layer underneath that. So those were your any conscious fears you had regarding that. But we've now moved down a bit more into your unconscious fears. Yeah, okay. These can be summarized under, am I safe? Am I safe? Am I truly safe? Yeah, then it gets projected into the future. Will I be safe? Will I remain safe? Even if I'm safe now, will I be safe in the future? Okay, so far, we're just bringing more awareness to these fears, not clearing them just yet. Okay, because, yeah, these fears are linked to identifications. It's always best to release the identifications. The fears are side effects of the identifications. So, okay, I am not safe. I am not safe. I am not safe. Following that deeper, older, how it's been embedded in your system, in your unconscious. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I am not safe. Yeah, so for each one of you, this tracks to various childhood memories, past life memories. Okay, that's far enough. Let's just Okay, I am not safe. I am not safe. I am not safe. I am not safe. I am not safe here in a body. Clear, 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 clear. For some of you, that has the added, I am not safe here in a female body. Clear, 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 clear. I'm not safe here in a man's body, in a male body. Clear, 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 clear. I am not safe as a child. I'm not safe as a child. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Clear, 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 clear. And then it goes older into the womb. So these are pre-verbal, precognitive, but cellular memories, if they could be put in words, would be, I'm not safe. Like as a fetus, let's say. I'm not safe here in the womb. I'm not safe here in this. Yeah, from the fetus's perspective, it really is, I'm not safe. Like there's no conception of mother, there's no conception of even in this space, because this space is everything to the child, the fetus at that moment. So yeah, it's just a very pure, pre-verbal, very visceral experience. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. Clear, 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 clear. I am not safe. I am not safe. I am not safe. Yeah, there's many layers to that. There's many variations. So we're just dealing with each layer as we have access. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I am not safe. I am not safe. Yeah, this is almost like a primordial feeling. Oceanic, primordial. Yeah, as long as this has been active in your energy system, there's always been a layer of anxiety, amorphous anxiety, like this just oceanic anxiety that you could never quite name, because it comes from a time you were pre-verbal. You didn't have the ability to cognitize the experience at all. But it's like it's been there, embedded in every cell of your body. Okay, can we clear it all yet? Clear, 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 clear. Okay, we have to track it. Okay, let's do the past lives. We can't clear it fully from your present life just yet. Okay, wow, there's just a mass of past lives that had themes along the lines of, I am not safe. Wow, yeah, all kinds of variations where you chose to either live and or die in mortally threatening situations. Okay, so partly what's holding that in place is your own judgment From within those lives, you judging yourself for allowing those situations to develop, and as well as in this life, judging those lives from your point of view now. So, would you be willing to forgive yourself for ever choosing to have these experiences where you felt you lacked safety? Would you be willing to allow yourself to recognize that you, as an infinite divine being who always knows complete, perfect safety, so deeply, so thoroughly that the word safety doesn't even mean anything to you as an infinite divine being? Can you welcome the truth that you had a desire to limit yourself so you could experience and learn what safety versus unsafe is as an experience? You wanted to, it's like you can view that experience as a shade of color that you didn't have on your palette before. You wanted that shade of color available to you for your next creation, to add nuances and sophistication and a new type of beauty to whatever your next creation was. You knew you needed to allow yourself to dive into this experience of not feeling safe and experience what that's like, and allow that to cause you to grow in compassion, understanding, the ability to make fine distinctions that you didn't have the ability to make before, exposing yourself to lack of safety and to the suffering that can arise in those situations. Okay, that's a lot for your conscious mind, but I'm checking to see if your system is registering this higher information. Because once it changes energetically in your system, your conscious mind will follow suit eventually. It will get it. It will have the understanding when it's ready for it. Okay. I am unsafe, I am unsafe, I am unsafe, I am unsafe, I am unsafe. Yeah, so we're just kind of like quickly going through all these past lives that we're exploring this theme of being unsafe, being unsafe, being unsafe, wanting to have that experience, being scared to death of that experience. Sometimes literally. Clear, 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 clear. Okay, good. Now that's clearing the low vibrational influences those past lives we're still having on your present life. Yeah, good. And then that's like cutting the ties to a helium balloon, and your whole system being like that helium balloon that can now just rise, become lighter, rise in vibration, expand, open to a higher flow. Yeah, and just this lightness. Feel that. Feel yourself becoming lighter as you're freed from the low vibrational influences of these past lives, of the birth trauma or pre-birth, of your childhood traumas regarding feeling unsafe. Yeah, there's still an influence, not allowing it all to completely dissolve. I can already see it's because this is one of your veils of forgetting. Yeah, so we're just connecting with that level of this pattern. So, how does an infinite divine being create an experience of being a limited human being? Well, it creates a veil of forgetting, and it creates the veil through lies. It lies to itself. And it has to make that lie so convincing that it doesn't see through the lie before it's able to fully have the experience. And so the lie that each of you use to anchor this particular veil is I am not safe. So you, as an infinite divine being who knows only safety, wanted to have these experiences of living many lifetimes exposed to danger and fear, feeling unsafe. So the way you introduced that, you created this lie, I am unsafe. And you installed that as a very basic program within each of these human lives. I am unsafe. Yeah, see right there. Okay. Okay, I'm right at that program. Yeah. This has been anchoring one of your veils of forgetting, helping you to forget who and what you truly are as an infinite divine being. Okay, so I mentioned you know you need to install these programs so yeah, it's so you can't see through it, so you can't discover it too soon. So often there's a number of layers, and that's what I'm running into. Like these layers of self-deception so that this couldn't be released too soon. Yeah, there's my angelic dragon is here, Azrael, and he's really good at this because he can just like see through any and all illusions. And that's what we're dealing with here. This is like several layers of illusion that have been holding this in place. There he goes. Okay, he's moving through the layers of illusion. Using his flame. He has a blue, purifying flame. Okay, let's begin testing it. I am not safe. 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 Yeah, see already that like has lost its Velcro feeling, its stickiness. I am not safe. I am not safe. I am not safe. Yeah, there's like a humor now coming in. as you, as an infinite divine being, like, are seeing through the illusion you created for yourself, you yeah, you just start laughing. There's humor. Perfect response, because that also helps it to release even more, even more, even more. It's like you're saying to yourself, oh, I see what I did there. How smart of me. How dumb of me. Oh, it wasn't really dumb. I wanted to have those experiences. Oh, right, right, right. Yeah. Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Okay. So my dragon's saying his part's done. Let's just back up, get an overview. Check if there's any part of you resisting. Yeah, there's some fear and resistance to, is it really time to let this go completely? Did I really learn what I needed to learn? But that's already turning into, oh, I don't need to do this anymore. I do not need to pretend I am not safe. I can allow myself to know the truth that I am safety itself. Ooh. Would you be willing to welcome that in completely, through and through your whole system? I am safety itself. Good. Yeah, just keep taking that in. I am safety itself. I am safety itself. I am safety itself. I am safety itself. I am safe. I am safe. Okay, good. So that's beginning to rewrite your cellular memories and the energy of your genes. So your genetic code has been carrying, some of that original programming for the veil was programmed into your DNA, into your genes. Would you be willing to let that go and be rewritten with the higher truth? I am safe. 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 Okay, there's some interference from your small self, your egoic self. Let's see, what is the best way to heal that? Okay, would you be willing to explore and have your own direct experience that the ego is safe when it lets go of trying to control anything and allows itself to move behind your spine, down near the sacrum, where its default position is as part of your survival mechanism and no more than that. So we are pulling your ego into that position, showing you and your ego what its version of true safety actually is. Yeah, this is safety for you. Would you be willing to allow yourself to experience true safety for your ego as part of your survival mechanism, for your physical body, for your human being. And as an innate essential quality of your infinite divine being. I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. Okay, right beside this, I can see another anchor to a different layer of the veil of forgetting that's very similar. So we can take everything we just did and kind of apply it. Okay, so this veil, so one of the very foundational veils, besides I am not safe, is I am alone, or I am separate from others. So as infinite divine being, before you take on a human life, you're in oneness. There is no separation. There are no boundaries, except playful ones that you might create with another aspect of yourself in order to experience being able to play together as two different forms. But there's none of this, like the human level of feeling completely separate, feeling completely alone. But as infinite divine being, you want to have those experiences because you know that, again, will help move you from, like a rosebud to a full-blown rose, open and giving off a fragrance. Like the only way to go from one to the other is through these human incarnations, through these experiences such as I am alone, I am separate. So let's just activate it through focus. I am alone, I am alone, I am alone. I am separate. I am completely alone. Okay, we have to go into that a little deeper. I am completely alone. I am completely alone. I am completely alone. Yeah, there's other energies there. Lost and confused, lost and confused, lost and confused, lost and confused. I am completely alone, lost and confused. I am completely alone. I am completely alone. I am completely alone. Lost and confused. Alone, lost, alone. Yeah, it moves even further to like at my wit's end. Like at my wit's end. I don't know if I can take this any longer. I'm at my end. I'm at my wit's end. I'm about to lose my mind. I'm about to go crazy. Yeah, that whole sense. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we reached the full depths of that. So let's just start clearing what we can. Clear, 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 clear. Okay, all the way through all those layers, just clearing, 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 all the way to the anchor, to the original program. The veil of forgetting, the lie I am alone. I am completely alone. And then all the side effects. There we go. Good, 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 good. That's releasing, 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 releasing. Yeah, it's like the same kind of hiding methods were used on that anchor as on the first anchor we dissolved, and so that one could go a lot more quickly, a lot more easily. Okay, and then that's as that dissolves, it allows a infusion of light, love, and truth related to who and what you truly are as an infinite divine being, that you no longer need to live under these illusions of loneliness, of being at your wit's end, being lost and confused, being separate, clear, 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 clear. Yeah, would you be willing to let go of any and all remaining remnants of either of those veils of unknowing? Let them all fall out of your system, dissolve in the pure light and love of your own truth. Okay, now we're going to amplify that healing by universalizing it. So there are various hosts and legions of angels, most notably Archangel Metatron, his angels, Archangel Michael, his angels, Archangel Raphael, and his angels, who are assisting us now taking this healing that we each have realized individually down into the center of the earth, the heart chakra of the earth, and then out to the collective, out to all of humanity, making this healing available to whoever's ready for it, whoever can benefit from it. And since each one of us is part of the collective, it's also coming back to us. And because this is a service we're providing, we're getting extra healing from the service we are doing. So it's a win-win-win. You win, the earth wins, all of humanity wins. And the angels are saying it's a win for us as well. This is our mission. You're helping us to do it. We are most appreciative. We are most grateful for you helping to open this channel, providing this service as light workers, helping to clear these old programs that are no longer needed at this time as the earth has begun its ascension, as each individual is in the process of ascending. And of course, the ascension can only be fueled by you as infinite divine being descending into your present life even more. That's what allows you to ascend. It's always a process both of descending more and more completely into your human life, so your human life can also ascend towards your divine life. Okay, this is being amplified even more. Archangel Metatron with his multidimensional cube all around the earth, all around each one of you, all around our group, specifically using golden frequencies of light to help all of this harmonize, integrate, stabilize into a permanent energy that's always available. That's allowing fine-tuned adjustments for you individually as well as your own infinite divine self is able to even better adjust this personally for you. So this is all reaching a level of coherence that's allowing a wave of expansion. You might begin to feel that it's radiating from your whole energy system, but mostly through your heart chakra. Yeah, just an expansion in radiance. Would you be willing to allow yourself to be as radiant as you actually truly are here now? And would you be willing to receive all the healing this is naturally bringing to you and your system at every level? And would you be willing to allow yourself to realize day by day, moment by moment, all the ways your life is ever improving? So as to help you stay on this ever uplifting spiral of ascension. Okay, good. It is good for you to know that you can easily and effortlessly reconfigure your consciousness to be the best it can be for you for the rest of your day and onward. As you bring the perfect amount of awareness to your human body, your present location, this session is complete. As always, we thank you for your service, individually and as a group, for being light workers, for being lighthouses, for being willing to shine forth your light and inspire others just by you being you. Infinite blessings. Yes and no, and yes and no. it so so yeah, just kind of think about it. Like, how many veils does it take an infinite divine being to pretend it's not infinite? It takes an infinite number of veils. Now, do we have to clear every veil? No. It's like today, we cleared a veil, and then right away, another veil that had like such a similar pattern that like it was easy to clear that second one. So sometimes we clear a veil and all these other veils, or some veils have multiple layers within itself, and we might clear just one layer or open a couple holes, and then we live with that much awareness coming through from the other side. And then it allows enough of a change that the rest of the veil and layers just dissolve. There's so many variations. There's just an incredible number of variations. But it's also like karma. So you have infinite karma because you have had infinite lives as a soul. You have infinite veils because that's what it takes to veil an infinite being. But at a certain point, once you've prepared yourself and once you've surrendered enough, and once you've cleared enough karma and enough veils, that self-exciting energy takes over. And at a certain point, you're just gifted, you're graced with all the rest being dissolved all at once. It's not something you can do. Ultimately, the final step is always grace. It's infinite divine source, however, infinite divine love consciousness, however you think. Ultimately, God, for lack of a better word, God graces you. And all that's remaining of your karma, of your veils, gets erased at that point. We can prepare ourselves, we can make ourselves more ready for that moment, but you cannot take yourself all the way there. God realization is always a gift in the end. It's always a grace. So we do the best we can along the way. We serve, we devote ourselves, we do what we can to prepare ourselves. But ultimately, the divine takes the final step and then wipes out everything else and says, "You've done enough. You're home for good." You're welcome. Great question. Yeah, that's important information. That's yeah, that was a great question. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I had the same feeling actually as we were going through that I mean, I've done a lot of clearings around loneliness and a lot of clearings around safety, but somehow these felt like really deep and ancient, and like we were getting at it in a new way. We were clearing it in a way that wasn't available before. It's like every day the consciousness that's available to us is increasing, and so every day these healings can go to deeper levels that were never able to be penetrated before, or reached even. I mean, the fully unconscious mind just is unimaginably deep, dark, and dense. And so anytime we get down into any of that, that's grace in and of itself. That we now have enough light and consciousness that we can actually get down to these really fundamental levels of what's been creating this whole earth game to begin with. This, that many talk about the earth being like the most dense game anywhere. And that's basically true in my experience. That it's like we are in the most polarized and most dense construct possible. And and that we're getting now down to some of those foundational layers and changing them to light, bringing consciousness. So it's fundamentally changing the earth experience and the earth game. And eventually those that want to keep playing that dense, dark, polarized will have to go do that on another planet. It's not going to be available for much longer on this planet. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think that's going to be it for today then. Really appreciate you all coming and participating, offering your beingness. Okay.